Are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, go.
Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and today I ordered to it. They will use the data and test it. Wait, what is up?
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're wondering why I'm sitting on the floor, it's because in this video I'm going to be showing you all how I made this pull-out drawer for my pots and pans, and they both were under $50, including the drawer slides. And I'm also going to be reviewing my Caraway Cookware. As you can see, I have the pots and the pans right here and the bakeware, so I'll be reviewing that in the video as well. And I will also be including for you guys a discount code so you can purchase them for yourself. So keep watching. And before I forget, this video is sponsored by Caraway. So this is currently what my cabinet looks like with all my pots and pans. As you can see, they're kind of just all over the place. I don't have a lot of pots and pans because I just don't like having a lot of stuff. This one I'm actually going to be replacing because Caraway sent me actually the Dutch oven and the fry pan, which I'm really excited about. I have the saute pan and the saucepan, and I just got the fry pan as well. So we're gonna be getting rid of this one. I've had this one for over 10 years. So it's time for it to go. We're gonna be getting rid of this one. And basically the idea is to do 2 pull-out drawers on each side and possibly add a shelf all the way in the back, more of like a shallow shelf. We'll see how that turns out. That's the plan, but we'll see how it actually turns out. First, I started with emptying out the entire cabinet, and then I went ahead and measured it to see how much space I was working with. Then I went ahead and opened up my new Caraway item. Like I said, I already had the saute pan and the saucepan, and Caraway sent me the fry pan as well as the Dutch oven. So I went ahead and opened it up to see how it's going to fit in the cabinet. So that's something that you can do before you build your drawers, to kind of see what you're going to put in there and to see how it's going to fit before deciding on the size of your drawers, just to make sure everything that you want to fit in there actually does fit. So before I show you all how I actually build the drawers under my cabinet for my cookware, I wanted to go ahead and review the cookware really quick. So this is my Caraway Cookware set. I have the bakeware and the cookware. I actually had the saute pan and the saucepan for probably about 6 months too, and also the bakeware. And I recently just got these fry pan and the Dutch oven. I've been wanting those two for a while, so I haven't used these two yet, but I've used this practically every day, and just I use it quite often. One of the main things that attracted me to Caraway Cookware is that all their cookware are non-toxic ceramic cookware, and also that they look pretty. So I opted for the more neutral colors. I like gray, but they do have like other bright colors on it that you can get, which you can match the bakeware and the cookware. And they actually now have some like gold handles that I've seen, but I really love my set because I like more neutral colors. And 2, I love that you have an organizer where you can set them on, so they actually look nicer when you keep them on my counter. I put them under my cabinet because I prefer my counter not uncluttered. So what I really like about these organizer is that it's a magnet and you can move them so they're not all connected. You can actually put them apart. So as you see in my cabinet, I actually have these 2 on one side and these on another side separately. So you can easily put them wherever you want to. You can even display it on your counter like I said, but I prefer them in my cabinet. And this is where you can actually store the lids. So it comes, if you buy the set with this canvas, it's like a canvas material, and you can store all your lids on here, and they actually send you like hooks where you can hook it either your cabinet door or the side of your island, or inside your cabinet. My cabinet door is actually too short for this, so that's something you can consider. You need to consider if you are wanting to do it on your cabinet door. So I actually put it inside the cabinet where I will show you. So one thing to note if you are purchasing these is that you don't want to use oil spray. I used to use oil spray for everything, but they can actually ruin the non-stick finish of these. So I'm glad I actually read the instructions this time and don't use oil sprays on this, just use regular oil. Or some things that you're cooking, you actually don't even need any oil because it's non-stick. It's a non-stick finish. So after having these two for 6 months, you can see some wear and tear on the bottom. Honestly, I think it's because we have a gas stovetop and not electric, and I don't lift it up all the time. I actually kind of just slide it, even though it says you're not supposed to. So I think that's what caused some of the wear and tear. This is something to kind of be aware of. It does say you can actually use more abrasive cleaners, more abrasive sponge to clean this, but we haven't been cleaning it like we should, so that's probably why it kind of stained it. But you can see on, so this one, we don't use it as much as I use the saute pen, so this one doesn't really have that much wear and tear on it, as you can tell, because this one we practically use every day. This one I don't use as often. So if you're looking for new cookware for your family that's both functional and actually look nice and it's non-toxic, then definitely get yourself a Caraway set. Both the bakeware and the cookware are both awesome. And I will be putting a link so you guys can get a discount as well in the description. So make sure you click that link so you can get your own set. And now I'm gonna go back showing you all how I did those drawers for my cookware.
Here's what you would need for your drawers. You're going to need a piece of plywood. I used 1/2 inch plywood that I already had on hand. And then you would need something for the borders of the drawers. So I use 1x3 select pine piece of wood. You could actually frame the entire drawer, but as you can see, I only put it in the front just so I can have something to pull onto the drawer, because by putting it around it, it would have taken up too much space. Another thing you would need a nail gun, some glue, and a drill, and also some sandpaper or like a sanding sponge just to sand around the edges to make sure everything is smooth. And I also forgot to mention, you will need some drawer slides. So the length of your drawer slide would be based on the length of your drawers. So just make sure you measure that before you buy them at the store. And also I use some 1x2 just because the front of my cabinet is raised up a little bit. So I would need something to raise up the drawer slide. If not, then it will like bump at the front lip of the cabinet, if that makes any sense. You will see in the videos why I added the extra 1x2. So after cutting the piece of plywood to the appropriate length for the size of my cabinet, I went ahead and put my cookware on top just to make sure everything would fit and decide exactly how long I was going to make it. So I went ahead and mounted the drawer slide to the 1x2 piece of wood. I actually forgot to get a clip of that, but as you can see, that's it back there that I'm putting it, trying to decide where I'm going to put it. So I decided to go 2.5 inch off of the edge of the drawer. So I put the drawer where I want it to be and actually traced the drawer onto like the cabinet itself just to kind of see where it would be and also decide exactly where the drawer slide would be, which I decided on 2.5 inches. That way I can know exactly where to mount it on there. And I also went ahead and marked on the cabinet itself where the 2.5 inches is. So that will be the edge of where the drawer slide will be mounted. So then I went ahead and calculated exactly 2.5 inches on the back of the drawers so that I can go ahead and mount the drawer slide that goes on the back of the drawers exactly at the same distance that it is going to be on the cabinet to make sure that it fits perfectly. And also your drawer slide most likely will come with screws and it's like hidden in there. So just make sure you're not accidentally throwing it away like I did with one of my packs of screws and I threw them away in the trash. So one thing you need to be careful with when you're drilling the holes with your drill bit before putting your screw in is don't go through all the way. I accidentally did that in one of them. So there's a hole on the other side of the drawer. I mean, it's not a big hole. You can't see because the pots and pans are on there, but I know it's there. So just be careful when you're drilling. So I actually forgot to record a clip for YouTube of how I placed the front part of the drawer. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this clip that I had for Instagram. It was pretty easy to do. All I used was some wood glue and a nail gun to put it together. Next, I went ahead and put the drawer slides on the bottom of the cabinet. You can't really see it from here, but because I marked it when I was measuring everything, I knew exactly where to put it. And before mounting the back, I made sure that the drawer actually fit into the drawer slide. It's somewhat of a mission to get it to fit in there, just because you can't see where you're putting it, so you kind of have to fill it out. But eventually I got it to fit, and once I did fit it in there, that ended up straightening up the drawer slide, and I left the drawer in there and just pull it out a little bit and then drill the back of the drawer slides in. So I got the first one installed with lots of trial and errors. So now I'm going to speak more detailed about how I'm going to install the second one now that I think I've got it down pat with the first one. So the hardest thing with this, honestly, is aligning the drawer slides, because yeah, that can be a pain, especially since you're doing under and you're not doing the sides of drawers. So you can kind of decide how you want your drawer slides, but what I did is I decided to put it, 2.5 inch from each side about, and then I basically just measured it to make sure that when this part is fully extended, it's not like crossing this right here. So I did that on both sides. Then I put this in here. I drill this in, put this in, and then I also, before I did that actually, I kind of aligned where I wanted this to be based on my dimensions on the side, and I kind of marked it. And after I drilled it here, I went ahead and kind of did like a dry fit. So pretty much I pushed this to the back, and I put it where I had aligned it at first, where I kind of wanted it to be, just to make sure. And then I used my Sharpie, which I don't have it now. I don't know what I did with it, but as you can see, it's marked right here exactly where it needs to be, That way, when I take this off, I'm actually going to drill this in first, and then slide this in, and then I'll drill it back in. I absolutely love how it turned out. Now all of my cookware is neatly organized, and I don't have to dig in the back of my cabinet to find things. I might eventually paint it or maybe stain the drawers. I haven't decided yet, so we'll see. Thank you again for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it and that it was helpful. Don't forget, there's a 10% off coupon of Caraway Cookware. Just make sure you click on the link that's on the description box to get your 10% off. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, where I do lots of DIY and home decor.